Are you interested in learning more about history? How about literature? And what of folk literature? If you said yes, then welcome in the Great Khan's tent. History, literature, and storytelling. In the Great Khan's Tent, hosted by Saf Baig, is a bi-weekly comprehensive episodic narrative podcast focusing on the history, literature, and folk literature from the regions of the Middle East, South Asia, Central Asia, North Africa, Mongolia, and the Russian Far East. We have a number of ongoing series. In our primary series, I will be narrating the 1001 Nights, or commonly referred to as the Arabian Nights. Interspersed within this series will be our focus on the history of the regions I mentioned, interviews, and discussions on many facets that I am sure our listeners would enjoy. So come on in and listen. You can find us on all podcast streaming platforms, on our website in thegreatkhanstent.podbean.com. That's in thegreatkhanstent.podbean.com, or on our YouTube channel in The Great Khan's Tent. I'm sure you'll enjoy listening to our podcast. We hope to see you there.
I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian.
And we are the Paranormal Lovers.
Hello, paranormal dudes, dudettes, and dudays. Welcome back to another episode of The Paranormal Lovers.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us for another week, episode 92.
92.
We're only 8 away.
Crazy.
Dun, 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 dun. It is crazy. All right, let's get the business out of the way. If you would be so kind, please give us a like, follow on the social medias, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram by searching for the Paranormal Lovers in the search bar. You can also search that name on YouTube to watch videos of these episodes. If you're a fan of uncovering history that has been forgotten or hidden, give our new show Rethinking Our History a follow.
History is so important.
It is, because when we do not learn it, we are doomed to repeat it, and I'm seeing a cycle.
Yeah.
If you would like to support the show, we have 2 ways for you to do so. First, we have our merch shop at theparanormallovers.threadless.com. There you will find 2 shirts designed by me that the proceeds of will go to local organizations to help with hurricane relief. Second, we have a Patreon. We have one $5 tier where you will get early access to unedited videos of both of our shows, as well as 2 free stickers a month. One's from our shop and one handmade by that guy.
Corrupt.
And when we get up to 20 Patreons, we will be adding a new perk to Patreon, bi-weekly family movie nights. And if you have a topic request, a personal story, you just want to yell at us for our super liberal views, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. But if you yell at us, it's going in the trash.
Yeah.
Just FYI. Don't expect a response because
we don't care.
you ain't getting one. All right. So what did you love about this week?
Oh man, that's hard.
I was like,
I
don't think I fucking got anything.
Shit.
Oh no, wait, actually I do got something.
Well, I found 3 people at work that did not vote for Trump.
That's good.
And that I could talk to about stuff.
Found a few friends you could talk to.
Yeah.
That's
about it. What about you? What did you love about this week?
Okay, so there's this page on Instagram called The Reclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
The Reclaimed. Yeah, y'all go give her a follow. She's not supposed to be funny, but I think she's funny because she just like spitting straight facts.
Yeah.
I saw a video of hers yesterday that said it's really funny how Black people are not a monolith, but we do monolithic shit.
Right.
Because we all woke up Wednesday before we even talked to anybody, before I even got out of bed to pee.
Yeah.
I got on my phone and looked up the election results, as did 86% of the Black people in this country that voted for Kamala.
Right.
And we saw them results and we said, I bet.
Right.
And I don't know if y'all felt it, but there was a step back that happened this week.
Yep.
There was a step back taken. All the people that have been fighting for equal rights for all of us, the people that step in to help you out, the people that have you back, they all just took a fucking step back.
Yeah.
That old black lady that you love that calls you baby, I wouldn't expect to hear that anymore. I bet you she knows your first name.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about this week, how we all just kind of went, all right, well, we're done. It was just like a collective, like, we fucking done.
For sure.
And we done. There's this like bullshit with like this blue bracelet going around where people are like wearing it to like show their allyship. And I'm like, this is the stupidest fucking shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that bracelet going to do a goddamn thing to help us?
No, it's not.
It's performative at best.
Right.
Like, fuck out of here with that bullshit.
It's like women shaving their heads to show that they supported Kamala. Like, don't shave your head. Like,
Who the hell did that?
I seen somebody on the internet
doing
it, and I'm like, hell no, I don't want them to know who I am. That way, like, when I decide to do some repercussive, like,
and also
sneaky
like,
shit, then they don't know it's me, you know?
Why the fuck do you think Kamala cares if you shaved your head?
Right.
She's probably like, hey, you might want to vote for some people into the electoral college.
Yeah.
That are not going to be voting for that fucking guy.
Yeah.
A rapist, a 34-time felon.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm going to start screaming. I've been putting in so many job applications and it's like, have you ever been convicted of a crime? Should it fucking matter?
No.
If a 34-time felon can be president?
Right.
Take that shit off of everything.
Yeah.
Take it off of job applications. Take it off of rental applications. Take it off of lease applications. Take it off.
Right.
Take it off. Oh.
I mean, it should be off anyways, considering like a lot of black people are felons. Like, because, I mean, that's just the way the criminal justice fucking system works. It's stupid.
Well, they're like, oh, well, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was the felons that voted for him. Because they're like, I can get a job, but this motherfucker's running for president.
Maybe he'll change that. No, he's not gonna fucking change a damn thing.
Y'all wait. Y'all let me know when it happens. People start complaining that shit isn't getting better. Under Trump, even though they voted for him, I thought if I voted for him, it would get better. Let me know when that starts happening, because I just designed a shirt this morning that says, "Don't blame me. I voted for Kamala." Yeah. And when that shit we start hearing that shit, I'm gonna put those bitches on the merch shop.
Right.
I got a few other fun ones that are coming up on the merch shop. So y'all wait. All right.
One more thing. I did like seeing the what is it? The granny that she kept putting out political signs. There's this little old lady that kept putting racist I'm racist signs beside Trump signs.
There's a page on Instagram. It's called Cats on the Couch. Cats on a Couch. Hang on. I'll find it. Anyways, y'all go find this page. Give them follows. They're trying to get more followers than JD Vance. Okay. That is literally the whole purpose of this page, is to get more followers than JD Vance. But during the whole shit, when there were signs everywhere, Cat Granny would go out and put up signs, like there'd be a Trump sign and she would have one that said racist with an arrow pointing on it, and she would like stick it
right next
down
to
beside the sign, and then like these people would come over and get pissed. It is Cats on a Couch.
Yeah.
Cats on a Couch.
I like that. I like graffiti. Me being a graffiti type of guy, like, I love that.
And she would go out at like 3:00 in the morning to put these signs out. People would come like rip them up, and she'd go like back out with more. She'd make more signs and go back out there and put them back out. She did this for weeks, y'all. Weeks. She would just make more signs and go back out and put them back up.
That's almost better than Banksy.
I tell you what. I also love that the National Park Service opened up their alternative Facebook page again.
Yeah.
Because they are leading the resistance.
That's awesome.
So y'all go give Alt National Park Service a follow because
And please, guys,
it's on.
do resist. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Don't wallow. I wallowed for a day. You're allowed to wallow for a day, but then you got to get pissed.
Yeah,
We got work to do.
we do.
So this week we're going to go back into the wild world of cults.
Yay.
I had to spend some time looking for one this week, and I ran across the 12 tribes. 12 tribes.
12 tribes.
I'm shook. This is one of those cults that seem to have died, but it is not. It's not. It's actually still very much running,
Yeah.
and it's close to us.
Oh, no.
They got one in Chattanooga. From their website, 12tribes.org, quote, "The 12 Tribes is an emergency.
Emergency. It's an emergency cult.
It's an emergency spiritual nation."
Where can I sign up?
We are a confederation of 12 self-governing communities. Okay, hang on. The 12 Tribes is an emerging spiritual nation. We are a confederation of 12 self-governing communities. By community, we mean families and single people who live together in homes and on farms. We are disciplines or disciples of the Son of God, whom we call by his Hebrew name, Yeshua. We follow the Old and New Testament scriptures and live like the earthly disciples in Acts chapter 2 and 4. We'll get to it. With all of our hearts, we want to do our Father's will, which is to love one another and be a light to the nations so that they could see our life of love and know how much their Creator loves them. End quote.
All right.
At least that's what it says on their website today. Back in 1972, there was no website, but instead Gene Spriggs and his wife Marcia. These two owned a coffee shop named The Lighthouse in their home in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh boy, so it started in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people are like, it's Chattanooga. And I'm like, it's Chattanooga. Okay.
Chattanooga.
And began a teen ministry out of their shop called The Light Brigade.
All right.
It's already giving like Children of God. Do you remember? They
Yeah.
had the lighthouse.
Yeah.
It didn't take long for them to go from a ministry to a commune with its members moving in together. Then they opened a restaurant named the Yellow Deli, which still has several locations open today across the globe. Several of the members were sent out to attend several different churches before the group decided to join the First Presbyterian Church. During their time with the church, they caused some tension within. While the church is supposed to be there for, the meek and the poor, this church turned their nose up at the group when they would bring in people from all different walks of life. This included mixing social classes and races. They brought black people into the church.
Oh no, how horrible.
Which it's like 1972, and this is around the time they finally integrated schools in North Carolina, and my parents met, so I'm not surprised.
Right.
Neither am I surprised by the classism within a church either.
Right.
The thing that split the group from the church was... Hang on. I forgot about this. The group showed up to church on a Sunday for evening service, and it was canceled because of the Super Bowl. It makes me chuckle, which is really funny because it was probably like, what year was the first Super Bowl? Super Bowl's only been around for like 50 something years.
Yeah, I don't know.
First Super
I'm not a big football guy. You guys.
Bowl. He's not. He's a baseball guy.
Yeah.
So January 15th, 1967
Was the first Super Bowl.
was the first Super Bowl. So this was like,
10 years later.
yeah, not about 5 years later. That's hilarious. The Packers won. Go figure. What is this? Why? Leave me alone. Okay. After this, the group started.
That's my aunt's team.
Yep. Vicky and Pete.
Angie and Pete.
Angie and Pete. Shit, sorry. You got too many ants, okay?
I do. I have a lot of ants.
I got like 3. You got like 12. Like, why are there so many women? After this, the group started the Vine Christian Community Church. They would go on to open several other locations, or as they called it, planted branches in Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. Each church was equipped with its own Yellow Deli restaurant.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Come in and have some meal and hear the word of the Lord. Once the group made their split from mainstream churches, what was a tense relationship exploded to full-blown protest. It ramped up even more when the group began holding services in Warner Park in Chattanooga. Here they would appoint elders to their church and baptize people, quote, outside any denominational authority, end quote. Which is another thing. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I don't like a lot of their stuff, but then again, I'm also like, they're allowed to be non-denominational.
Yeah.
Like, surprise. Which this was also like the 70s. And like, you were either Baptist, you were Protestant, you were Methodist, or you were just a heathen.
Yeah.
Before long, their actions got the attention of the Parents Committee to Free Our Children from the Children of God and the Citizens Freedom Foundation.
All right.
Yeah, that's a long name. The Parents Committee to Free Our Children from the Children of God.
So they were trying to free the children of God children?
So it was an organization started by the parents of people who were in the Children of God cult. They, before long, noticed this cult over here, the Vine Community Church cult over here, and they were like, that's a cult. It was from these organizations that the Life Brigade was deemed a cult and Spriggs a cult leader. In 1976, anti-cultist Ted Patrick began a series of deprogramming for the members of 12 tribes, but any negative media about their group was simply ignored. Because it's a cult.
Yeah.
And they go, that's fake news.
Right.
If anything, they worked harder to spread their message. They went on to open a second Yellow Deli and a new restaurant, Areopagus, in downtown Chattanooga. In 1978, Spriggs received an invitation to preach at a church in Island Pond, Vermont, which he declined. But this prompted the group to begin moving into that small town and opening the Northeast Kingdom Community Church. Over the next couple of years, the group would start closing down its restaurants until only their location in Dalton, Georgia was still open. But eventually, Spriggs admitted the group was in heavy debt and closed the Dalton location, and everyone moved to Vermont. The move didn't help things. It was a struggle for a while when they first got there, leading some members to leave. What's more, the Citizens Freedom Foundation began a campaign to bring attention to the group. While in Tennessee, the foundation had accused the group of mind control. Now in Vermont, they were accusing the group of child abuse. In 1983, an elder, Charles Eddie Wiseman, was arrested on assault and custody charges. This gave law enforcement cause to get a search warrant for the group homes, I don't know. But 112 children were taken into custody. 40 of the cases would be dropped because the parents would not name their children. Really, like, what's your kid's name? Fun fact, folks, you actually don't have to talk to law enforcement without a lawyer present. So
this is true.
Keep that in mind.
Maybe they were just doing that.
Pretty much. And also, I don't know. The group, concerned that they had given a bad impression to the community, began befriending their neighbors. 2 months later, the main witness recanted their testimony against Wiseman, claiming he was just caught up in the anti-cult movement.
Oh, God. There's a picture of him in Asheville here.
This caused the case to fall apart, and in 1985, the charges were dropped, stating Wiseman had been denied a speedy trial. Wiseman's public defender, Gene Swantko, would go on to join the group and marry Wiseman. During this time, members were also sent out to follow the Grateful Dead and recruit from their shows.
That's probably when they came to Asheville.
Probably, because I'm like, what?
Yeah, there's a picture of them in Pack Square.
Oh, yeah. They probably came to, like, I don't know, protest or something, or...
Well, it looks like they got like a tent set up in Pack Square with the bus parked right next to it. That's a pretty sweet fucking bus.
Right? They are really nice. Their buses are really nice. I was actually just trying to see if we have a Yellow Deli around here, but I think the one...
Wonder if I can get a bus.
Only other one is the one we're going to talk about. Okay.
Wonder if I can find one of those buses.
It'd probably be a pretty penny.
Probably.
It's either going to be really, really expensive, or it's going to be
it looks
fucking
old.
shit show on the inside, which, like, get me the shit show. I will remodel it. I need a project. By 1990, the group had integrated itself into the Island Pond community, and its numbers bloomed. They opened or planted branches in several countries, including but not limited to Canada, Brazil, Spain, and Germany, each with its own Yellow Deli. During this time of growth, they also went through a couple of name changes. First, they changed to the Masonic communities before they finally landed on the 12 tribes. The name change didn't help with their overall image. Throughout the early 2000s, there were allegations of, quote, child labor, custodial interference, and illegal homeschooling, end quote. In 2006, the group held a reunion in Warner Park where they announced they would be opening a new community in Chattanooga. And in 2008, 30 years after leaving the city, they opened a new deli in the city. In 2021, Gene Spriggs Jr. died while visiting his property in Hiddenite, North Carolina, which is not far. I think it's in the foothills.
Yeah.
Like near Hickory area.
Right.
So what are the beliefs of this cult? They feel very Christian in origin with Hebrew elements and a few others. But they feel like all other denominations are quote unquote fallen, which is why they refuse to align with one specific denomination.
Right.
The group heavily bases their beliefs off of Acts 2, 38 through 42, and Acts 4, 32 through 37. Quote, Acts 2, verses 38 through 42. Peter replied, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ for the forgiveness of your sins, and you will receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. The promise is for you and your children, for all who are far off, for all whom the Lord our God will call. With many other words, he warned them, and he pleaded with them, save yourselves from this corrupt generation. Those who accepted his message were baptized, and about 3,000 were added to their number that day. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Acts chapter 4, verses 32 through 37. All the believers were one in heart and mind. No one claimed that any of their possessions was their own, but they shared everything they had. With great power, the apostles continued to testify to the resurrection of the Lord Jesus. Sorry. I did. That accent. That's the thing with my autism, people. I just slip into accent sometimes.
Right.
And God's grace was so powerfully at work in them, and God's grace was so powerfully at work in them all that there were no needy persons among them. Brought the money from the sales and put it at the apostles' feet, and it was distributed to anyone who had need. Joseph, a Levite from Cyprus, whom the apostles called Barnabas, which means son of encouragement, sold a field he owned and brought the money and put it at the apostles' feet, end quote. So basically,
bless their hearts.
Bless you. Bless your heart. Basically, it's like, go out and tell people that we love Jesus. Nobody has their own stuff. We're all just going to work for the community. Everything you make goes to the community.
Instead, it just goes to the leader.
Which I guess is a good thing. Like, it does seem like everybody is in on this.
Right.
which is also concerning. This cult looks to live their lives as such as they did in biblical times, following Mosaic law, including not eating certain foods. They also insist on calling Jesus Yeshua, as this is the name that represents the nature of Jesus. So each member would get a new Hebrew name that would reflect their personality. Their beliefs also encompass the 3 destinies. They also believe that, quote, it believes that after the fall of man, every person is given a conscience, and that after dying, each person goes to a state of being called death, regardless of faith. Upon the second coming, believers will be brought back for the 1,000 years to reign with Yeshua before the last judgment. At the end of this millennium, all of the non-believers will be judged according to their deeds, put into one of 2 groups, the righteous and the filthy unjust. The filthy and unjust will be sent to the lake of fire, while the righteous will go on into eternity and fill the universe, end quote. Say, well, my husband takes a shower in the lake of fire every day, so it'd be all right. Yeah, no, y'all really, it's funny because like I see a lot of shit about women who like to like take showers in really, really hot water.
Yeah.
I don't, because I once read something that said it's actually really bad for your skin to wash in hot water because it strips all the natural moisture out of it. You work with hydraulic oil and you get covered, so you kind of have to wash with really hot water.
Yeah.
Y'all, I can't shower with him. He scalds me. It's so hot. So how is the cult run? Well, there are a series of councils that go from the local councils to the regional councils to the Global Apostolic Council.
Yeah, all right.
Within each council, there are teachers, deacons, and deaconesses, and elders. I have never heard the term deaconesses. I've never in any church I went to. I probably visited, 15 churches over my life, if not more. I've never heard of a deaconess.
I mean, unless the
fact that they actually like have women.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like the fact that they let women take control is, hey, that's good.
Right.
Like
they run the cult as a 501d, meaning they pay meaning they pay property taxes but no federal taxes. So they're like church exempt.
I need to start a church.
I'm telling you, the Church of the Paranormal Love. TM. The Church of Paranormal Love.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
all hail the Mothman.
All hail Mothman. Marriages are an interesting thing within 12 tribes. When a person shows desire to date someone else, they are given input from the rest of the community, while the couple spends time together getting to know each other. If they are under 18, their parents can confirm their love and compatibility, and the couple will become betrothed. At this point, they can hold hands.
Yay.
Wow. The wedding is real fucking weird. It's a play.
Yeah.
They put on a play about what it's going to be like when Jesus comes back for his bride.
Oh, that's weird.
You are Jesus and I am your bride.
Ew.
Once children are born, they are, of course, homeschooled. They are also beaten for any wrongful action.
Oh, that's not cool.
Word or behavior. They believe that this will help the next generations be able to resist temptation. And hopefully they will become some of the 144,000 that is talked about in Revelation's book, chapter 7, verse 4, quote, and I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel, end quote. Now the cult will admit to using a reed-like rod to hit the kids on the butt. Like they openly are like, yes, we beat our children with switches.
Jeez.
Because we're trying to beat the sin out of them.
Oh my God.
So that they will know how to resist temptation.
Right.
If you're tempted, remember how I beat the shit out of you as a kid.
Right.
That'll fucking teach you. But former members say that they were beaten so severely at times that they would start bleeding or even pass out.
Oh, that's horrible.
If your kid's fucking passing out, that's not a beating. That's fucking abuse.
Yeah.
How does the cult pay for things? Entrepreneurship. I want y'all to know that I literally had to Google how to spell that word while I was typing up these notes because it's a long fucking word.
It's a hard one.
It's a lot. There's a lot of E's and R's.
Mhm.
Lots of E's and R's. They have a printing company, a couple of construction companies, and a soap making company, among other things. This cult, as many others, has a pretty bad rap around the globe. The executive director of Christian Counterculture Movement New England Institutes of Religious Research, Bob Pardon, did his own investigation into the group. He was told about alleged child abuse in the group, which prompted him to seek permission to research the group. He also took time to interview former high-level officials from the group. In his report, he stated, quote, Masonic communities under the leadership of Spriggs has tended towards an extreme authoritarianism and a Galatian heresy. Heresy. Thank you. End quote. This is in reference to the churches of Galatians that were easily influenced by other faiths around them. Yeah, we take a break.
Sorry,
Had to let the dogs out. I had to go
Had to let the dogs out.
All right. Galatians, influenced by other faiths around them. In 95, the group was listed in a report by the Parliamentary Commission on Cults in France.
All right.
Parliamentary Commission on Cults. Members of the group, namely Jane Swankto and husband Ed Wiseman, had been campaigning to get the group some better representation, so they do so by talking openly with the government and media, and Jean has even been a presenter at several conferences, including the Communal Studies Association. Stuart A. Wright, a professor at Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas, believes the group suffers from quote-unquote front-end back disproportionality in the media. According to him, the main problem is that when accusations are made against the group, the media would run a bunch of stories, but as accusations were investigated and debunked, charges of that case get less and less. Coverage of that case gets less and less. This leads people not getting the full story and getting a bad impression of the cult. Now, this is not my feelings on the matter. This is just what some people have theorized.
They have a podcast.
Yep. June 22nd, 1984 probably started like any other day for the group until their commune was swarmed with LEOs and several of the adults and their children were taken into custody. Judge Frank Maddie drew out all the cases, stating the search warrant was unconstitutional and that the actions taken were quote unquote a grossly unlawful scheme. The judge who signed the warrant claimed he was given false information. The Vermont ACLU, or the American Civil Liberties Union, gave a statement calling the raid, quote, frightening and the greatest deprivation of civil liberties to have occurred in recent Vermont history, end quote. Richard Snelling, the then governor who had approved the raid, came under heavy fire from his actions, some calling him out for authorizing the raid to help with his political campaign. While the group has been labeled as anti-Semitic, they do practice many of the beliefs of Jews. Sorry, guys. The Jews. Yeah. Including observing the Sabbath, celebrating holidays such as Yom Kippur, and having bar and bat mitzvahs. But they lay the blame for the death of Jesus squarely at Jewish people's feet. So that would not be the last time the group. Huh? Weird. They love our culture, but not us. It's something I've noticed with Black people. You ever notice that? People that are like truly racist people, you'll hear them like listening to rap music and like see them eating at a Mexican restaurant, and you're like,
right.
I need to go to fuck on somewhere.
Right.
They love our culture, just not us.
Yeah.
In 2001, they were accused by the New York Post, which they responded to by having a press conference. They claimed that the claims came from having several 14-year-olds helping their fathers in a factory while they were being inspected by an employee of Estee Lauder. They made the statement that they saw no problem having kids help with the family business, even though it did cost them several contracts with famous companies and people. Which, I mean, and that's why it's kind of like you kind of have to have a little bit of regulation there, because, like,
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with having your kids helping you in the family business at
Right.
14 years old. But for 2 or 3 hours a day, a couple of days a week, let them get like an education and hang out with their friends and stuff too, you know? So I don't know
Yeah.
how they were handling it, but they were investigated by the New York State Department of Labor, but only 2 violations were found at other companies, and they were hit with a $2,000 fine. So I'm guessing it wasn't that terrible of a violation. But they were back in 2018 after Inside Edition aired inside footage of children working in the Greener Formula soap factory. After the footage was aired on Inside Edition, the group lost yet more contracts with big name brands. Across the bond, the communes were under fire for did I just say across the bond?
I think, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I talk fast and my brain's working fast and I get jumbled.
Combine the words together.
Mm-hmm. Plus, when I talk really fast, I start being able to feel my tongue ring and it throws me off.
Yeah.
Because I don't normally notice it, but it moves a lot. So it starts like pushing on the sides of the hole and it's distracting.
Trips you up.
Yeah. But if I take it out, it's also going to be distracting. So
For sure.
across the pond, the communes were under fire for homeschooling. In Germany, it is illegal to homeschool unless under special circumstances.
Huh.
Who fucking knew? Well, Germans, obviously, but like,
Right.
what? That's wild. Christine from That's Why We Drink. I know you're German. What? Did you know that? That's crazy. It's also really cool because, like, yeah, there should be some standard to what your kids are learning.
Right.
Although the group was fined multiple times and many of their people arrested, they refused to send their children to school. So they were given permission to have a school on their property in 2011, but it was short-lived. In 2013, permission was revoked when the group would not answer questions about alleged abuse and because they did not have certified teachers. While there are Black members of the group and they teach that, quote, slavery is over for those who believe, end quote. This is only applicable to those within the cult. They attempt to justify slavery by teaching that Ham's curse is a radical curse. If you don't know of Ham's curse, according to Christian mythology, Ham saw his drunk dad Noah naked. Not sure what exactly happened, but Noah put a curse on Ham's son Cain, or Canaan. Although there was no mention of race in the story, many people, not just the 12 tribes, had pointed to this story as justification of slavery. What's more is some of them believe that Nathan Forrest was a good man and that the KKK in the beginning had a righteous purpose.
Oh, God.
If you don't know who Nathan Forrest was, a Confederate general who massacred Black Union troops and was the first Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Right.
One of their teachings include, and this is from 12 Tribes.
Right.
It is horrible. It says, quote, "It is horrible that someone would rise up to abolish slavery." I'm getting mad. Hang on. I read one sentence. There's a whole long one left. Hang on.
Right.
This pisses me off.
Yeah.
What a marvelous opportunity that Blacks could be brought over here to be slaves so that they could be found worthy of the nations, end quote. They think no better of queer folks, if anything worse. On their website, it states, quote, "Homosexual behavior is immoral and can be mortally dangerous," end quote.
I'm on it right now. I'm looking at their bus on there, though.
Spriggs taught that being queer was worthy of death.
Well,
So, and while the women claim that they prefer to be in the kitchen, that's about all they're allowed to do. Men have full control over their families, and women have no say in the matter. In Germany in 2013, 40 children were removed from a commune due to allegations of abuse. This comes from the practices of hitting the children with reed-like rods. I can only imagine that this comes from the line, "Spare the rod, spoil the child."
I'm sure, yeah.
In 2018, the European Court of Human Rights upheld the German court's decision, stating, quote, "In the Huichen versus Germany case, the parents believed, based upon their religion, that they had the obligation to cane their children under the age of 12. Under the age of 12.
Jesus.
When they are disobedient.
Not Jesus.
Right. The court distinguished the right granted to parents to pass on their religious and philosophical beliefs from the Huichen's actions, stating that while the court has accepted that the passing on of moral convictions might even occur in an insistent and overbearing manner, it has stressed that it may not expose children to dangerous practices or to physical or psychological harm," end quote. In June 2018, the group was featured on a Vice episode.
Huh.
Fun. I'm pretty sure that was actually like undercover footage too, which you can probably find on their website if you're interested. In 2019, the FBI released a summary of an investigation into allegations of abuse at the group's North Carolina commune. It showed investigations at other properties where they suspected child abuse was happening, and even a review of deaths deemed suspicious. And yeah, so the North Carolina commune is in Hidden Night, North Carolina. If you're from there.
I've heard of Hidden Night.
I'm so sorry. Hidden Night.
Didn't know there was a cult there, though.
There's a cult there. There's actually a whole ass, like, they got like they have a yellow deli there, actually.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It's 2 hours from here. And it is.
What was that guy, the YouTuber dude that
it's like above Lake Norman by Hickory. Sorry, YouTuber dude.
What's the YouTuber dude that like infiltrated cults? It's like
Angry Ben or something,
or Anxious Ben, or
I don't know, something Ben. Yeah,
I think he did one on the 12 tribes, but
maybe
I could be wrong.
Also, according to former members, this abuse was at start as young as 6 months old.
Because like he infiltrated them under the pretense of like owning the cult. Because like the cult, when you join the cult, they give you ownership of the cult. So like he took control of a restaurant. Like that's the only reason I think it was the 12 tribes, was because he went and took
control of a yellow deli.
Yep.
Yeah, it was them.
I'm pretty sure that's what he did, and so he took control of all of it, and they pretty much kicked him out. But
I bet they did.
But he went in there and was like, "Okay, this is mine now. All of y'all are fired. Get out!" Like,
all right. According to former members, this abuse would start as young as 6 months old.
Wow.
If a baby would wiggle while getting a diaper change, throw food while feeding, crying for quote unquote no reason, would get a baby hit. As they got older, the adults added in restraint to the abuse. If a 3-year-old throws a fit, they will be held still until they submit to their parents, even if it takes hours. Which is also abuse, guys. Restraint is abuse. Sorry if I just blasted out your car speakers or your ear holes. If the parents choose not to abuse their child, well, they cannot make that choice. If they desire to stay in the group, they will literally be bullied into abusing their children.
Man, that's crazy.
They could be forced to endure public humiliation and even kicked out of the group. And this is because it's one of those things where, like, if one of us goes down, all of us go down because we're all going to participate in this bullshit.
Right.
So you can't flip on us for abusing our children because we're going to make you abuse yours too.
That's horrible.
If parents choose not to, oh, wait. Yep, there we go. In 2020, the group came under investigation in New South Wales due to allegations of child abuse, and several searches were performed on the property looking for bodies of stillborn babies. While reports claim at least one body was found on the property, nothing more has came of this. In 2023, a report came out from Boulder County Sheriff's Office in Colorado that stated the 2021 Marshall Fire had been the result of a slash fire started by the cult. A slash fire is a fire to burn the quote-unquote trash that is produced from logging. Think excess branches, scraps of bark, shit like that.
Right.
When responders were called out, at first they were not overly concerned about the fire. Slash fires are legal, or at least were in Colorado at the time, so they had committed no crimes. One of the group claimed he had let the fire burn down to embers and covered it with dirt, but they did not douse it with water. And like I said, this cult. Oh, I didn't even finish my damn notes. Ain't that some shit? There's like a little asterisk right there for my next paragraph, and then it's just blank. Whoops.
Well,
but, and like I said, they're still very, very active. Their website is linked in the show notes, so y'all go have fun with that.
Right.
Like he was talking about, they have 2 buses that they use to travel and try to convert, as well as a damn ship. They have a barkentine, to be exact, which is a large sailing vessel with 3 or more masts.
Huh. Well.
And they cruise up and down the eastern coast and stop in port and preach.
Wow.
Yikes. Yikes.
So they're trying to be Scientologists, huh?
That's what I was like. Y'all are going after the children of God and Scientology, and you're just smushing it all together.
That's
very,
fucked.
very weird. And I'm sorry if there's more to that story. I don't know, because that's the end of my notes. Wow, it's been a fucked week. Sorry, guys.
It's been a week.
So what do you think about 12 Tribes, Bill?
I like their buses.
Yeah.
I want one.
See, I'd actually started the research on that one because I had seen something about, it said like this cult that was like a danger to hikers on the Appalachian Trail.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, what the fuck is this about? And I never found anything about any of that. I don't know what crimes they committed on the Appalachian Trail. Like, I don't know.
Well, if we ever run into them, then
yeah,
I'll make sure to be packing.
Yeah. So this might end up being one where I like go back and like redo this one at some point since I fucked up my notes there.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right, guys. Well, that is the Cult of 12 Tribes. They are still very active. Please don't go join them.
Yeah.
Like,
these guys are not cool people.
No, these are not cool people. They will beat your children. Women aren't allowed to do anything but cook and clean and pop out babies. Children are homeschooled very poorly.
I don't see how anybody can use religion to do all this bullshit.
What do you mean you can't see how people look?
I know,
look at this last week. How do you say you don't see how people can use religion? The fact that people are literally calling this man like a messiah and a savior, and I'm like, he's a motherfucking antichrist is what he is.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Y'all need to go read Revelations again about the false prophet and the mark of the beast upon your forehead.
Yeah.
Make America great again.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Like, it's literally the motherfucking end of times, y'all. Like, the election happened and then it was 80 degrees this week for like 4 days.
Yeah.
I said, oh, it feels like we're in hell. What? I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, like, history's repeated itself so many times about religion where like, people just use it for evil. Like,
yeah. And that's honestly, and it's not just Christianity, it's organized religion.
Yeah.
If somebody is telling you you have to act a certain way so you can get into their version of heaven.
Yeah, they're doing it for a reason. They're doing it for themselves.
To control you.
Yeah.
It's not about your soul. It's not about you going to heaven. It's so that they control you and what you do on earth today.
Yeah.
So no, I'm good. I will stick with my ancestral spiritual practices. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with organized religion.
Yeah.
I'm done with all the rest of the white people that do not live on this corner and that one house in Mills River. Like I'm so done.
Yeah.
I'm just done. We done, y'all. We're not done with this podcast though.
No.
This podcast will be here forever or
Yeah.
until we get put in a concentration camp, whichever one comes first. I don't know.
I ain't gonna let that happen.
Because I'm sure they're gonna come for us. They're gonna get Bailey Sarian and then they're gonna come for us. Bailey, we got you, girl.
Yeah.
Pop's back here got one of them big guns that goes pew 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 really fast. So, anyways, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode, and we will see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Love you. Bye.
We love you. Bye.